Your dosage calculation exam, the one that requires you to get 100%. All right, you get 3 attempts. So everyone needs to come to the first one on November 9th. It'll be in the afternoon after classes from 3 to 4. Okay. Cohort A will be meeting in 480, which is on the other side of the 4th floor. Okay. It will be in ExamSoft. It'll be very similar to these style of questions that you just did. Okay. If you do not get 100%, and if everybody does not get 100% on the first try, we don't get a pizza party.
Margarita party.
Margarita party, yeah. Margarita pizza party.
I'll be there.
The next one that you can go to is on the 17th from 3:30 to 4:30. Now this is 2 days before Veterans Day. Okay. This one is during the week where we're having to make up lecture because of you guys missing that Thursday for Thanksgiving. It's going to be a very long week that week. Okay. And then this one is right before Thanksgiving. Okay, so they wanted us, initially they wanted you guys to have a test in the morning. I think you guys have a test in the morning one of these days and then come in for the dosage calculation exam as well. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that to them, okay? So these are the dates. So if you have any plans regarding those days, you need to be here for those. Okay, or at least plan to be. If you get 100% on the first try, boom, you don't have to worry about these other 2 dates. You're done. Okay? If you don't get 100% on the first one or the second one, you have to still meet with your instructor. So that would be me. You will get a remediation packet that you have to turn in to me, and I have to review it before you can take the second attempt or the third if that's the case. Okay, so did everybody write this down? I know it was added to your guys' calendar a couple days ago, but I don't know if you guys got notifications coming up or anything like that. So,
How many questions are on the exam?
20. Yep, just like this, but you have 45 minutes. Huh?
It's only 45 minutes.
20?
Yeah, because it's 20 questions. So that's still 2.5 minutes per question.
Sorry, thinking in.
So let's go ahead and get started. This.
Oh, yes.
All right. Anybody want to take a picture?
Where is really joining?
I didn't send an announcement. Just saying.
Well, I mean, it should be on your calendar. Because I know Professor Murray was adding them as we were talking about it. So yes, sir.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. By any chance, I took that.
I do. Yeah. All right. Can I erase the board? Okay.
Yes.
So today we're going to do things a little bit differently with this review. Everybody's going to participate. Because starting with Laura, we're going to start with number 1. And we're going to zigzag.
Absolutely.
Okay. Hey.
I need to get that answer.
That's why I hate it. You're supposed to hate your nursing instructor.
Well, I mean, I meant it with all the love in the world.
I'm trying not to
Did you
block
do
on here.
times two?
All right, so we have a nurse is preparing to administer 0.9%.
I'm old, I don't know this contract.
Just be careful with it. It's no different than writing on like a tablet.
Already messed
It's
up.
just a very large tablet. All right, normal saline, 500 milliliters IV infusion over 30 minutes. The nurse should set the IV pump to deliver how many milliliters per hour, rounding to the nearest whole number? That's correct. How did you get that?
Just times it by 2. 500 mLs divided by 30 minutes.
G.
So mathematically speaking, okay, we have volume divided by time, right? For this one? Time is in what units? No, it's not gonna be minutes, it's gonna be hours at this point, because we're trying to find milliliters per hour, okay? Our volume is what? 500, and our time is 30 minutes, right? Do we put 30 minutes here? No, because that's not part of an hour. Well, I mean, it is, but how much of an hour is it?
2.5.
And then you get, I will say on the exam, you'll only need to enter the numbers. You don't need to worry about the units, but I want you to write the units out so that way when you're actually doing it, you can kind of catch yourself if you make a mistake, okay, in that respect. All right, Miss Shanice, number 2.
She was going to do that.
Oh,
Yes, she's in the back.
okay, we'll go back to her then. You get number 3. She's like, I'm putting it down. So the nurse is administering 1,200 milliliters of D5W over a 12-hour period. How many milliliters per hour do you need to set the pump? Perfect. Nice. Thank you. Round of applause. All right, Miss Shanice. So we have a nurse is preparing to administer an IV piggyback. How many of you guys know what an IV piggyback is? Like a backpack? Kind of. It works kind of the same way. So typically you'll have an IV bag coming down, possibly through a pump, okay, and then to your patient, right? There's little Y connectors here, and usually there's one up here above the pump. You can hook another IV solution here, like antibiotics and stuff that are intermittently infused, and it will shut off the primary and infuse the secondary or the piggyback that way, okay? All right, Miss Clark. She's like, hold on, what? We'll try. If not, no worries.
Yeah.
So we have the nurse preparing the IV piggyback of 80 milliequivalents of potassium in a 500 milliliter bag of an IV solution over 4 hours. The nurse would set the pump to infuse at how many milliliters per hour? Perfect. 500 milliliters over 4 hours is 125. One little thing, Miss Shanice. No worries. All right. Come on up, Miss Roscoe. You can do this. I have faith in you. All right. Nurse is administering a 500 milliliter normal saline bolus over 2 hours. What rate should she program the IV? Oh, use your whole hand. There you go.
And then this one?
Yep.
Just divided it. Oops.
Yeah. But what was your final answer? 250 per hour? Yep. Perfect. All right. Good job. No slow claps here, mister. At least give her a good quality golf clap. There you go. All right, Miss Allie. Number 5, a client is to receive an antibiotic to infuse at a rate of 125 milliliters per hour. The amount to be infused is 500 milliliters. What is the total infusion time in hours? Use your whole hand.
Oh.
There you go. You're good. It defaults back. All right, it's 4 hours. You got it. Awesome. Thank you, thank you. Thank you from the 2 people clapping for Miss Allie. Rude! All right, Miss Riley, number 6. I don't know why my voice dropped like that. I got possessed for a second, I guess. All right, the nurse has an order to infuse lactated ringers at a rate of 75 milliliters an hour for the next 10 hours. How many milliliters should the nurse document for the total infused in those 10 hours? Okay, let's go ahead and use your clean slate, literally. Mm-hmm. Close. So you got the right church, just the wrong pew. Okay? Because we're not trying to figure out, this isn't the total amount of volume here. That's how much it's going at. So like if they were driving 75 miles per hour for 10 hours, how many miles would they have gone? So you wouldn't want to divide, you'd want to multiply. Because if they're going for 10 hours straight at 75 miles an hour, this one it's milliliters. 750. You got it. There you go. Perfect. All right. Good job. All right. Miss Gabby. A client has 0.9 sodium chloride, which is another term for 0.9% sodium chloride is normal saline. Okay. 1 liter infusing at 100 milliliters per hour to begin at 0300. The IV should be completed by what time in military form? You're doing fine. Okay. Perfect. If you have a total amount of a liter and it's going at 100 milliliters an hour, 10 hours, starts at 3, it'll finish by, what time is that in imperial time? 1 p.m. All right.
Yeah, I did.
So we have 78 kilograms is equal to how many pounds? Can't rest your hand on it.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
The 10th, nearest 10th.
To the nearest tenth. Nice. Legit.
Yeah.
Yes, 78 kilograms times 2.2 will be 171. All right, Miss Judy. We'll get to convert 143 pounds into kilograms.
Which one, this one?
Either side.
Okay.
You just can't put your hand on it, otherwise it'll mark there.
So, now this is
Perfect.
Horrible.
Hey, well, you're used to writing like this, not like with your whole arm. All right, good job. 143 divided by 2.2 is 65 kilograms even. All right, come on, Miss Hillary. We have a dialysis patient who weighs 113.8 kilograms and wants to know what that means in pounds. So how many pounds do they weigh? To the nearest whole number.
Okay, it doesn't say to the nearest one number.
On mine it does.
Yeah.
Number 10? No, should be to the nearest side, but you're okay. I don't know why yours would be different.
Supposed to say to the nearest hundred?
It's supposed to say to the nearest whole number.
Oh, mine doesn't say that.
So 250.
Yeah.
250 pounds. If you got 250.36, you're okay. Since apparently it didn't state that on your guys'. Okay. All right, Mr. Kevin. Mr. Ramos. We've got a nurse caring for a client who weighs 128 pounds, and we need to figure out how much that is in kilograms.
You?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
128 pounds.
I get the orange one.
No.
Yeah, they're laughing at you. Don't worry about it. Let them laugh.
I'm totally laughing at you.
There you go. 58.2 kilograms. Awesome. Thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Jerry.
Is that right?
I do.
I just keep dividing the kilograms by kilogram.
Client weighing 258 pounds. How many kilograms does the client weigh? Rounding, it should say to the nearest 10. Awesome. Perfect. 117.3 kilograms. All right, Miss Shauna. A physician orders 0.375 milligrams of digoxin, but the only tablets you have available are 0.25 milligram tablets. How many tablets would you administer to the client? Perfect. All right. Now, why didn't you convert from milligrams to micrograms? You don't have to. It's the same thing, yeah. I had to ask her a trick question. Come on, that one was kind of easy. All right,
And all
Miss
right.
DJ. A nurse is preparing to administer lorazepam, 0.05 milligrams per kilogram IM, 2 hours before surgery to a client who weighs 138 pounds. What's available is lorazepam, 2 milligrams per mil. How many milliliters should the nurse administer, rounding to the nearest 10? Yeah. Okay, you push your whole hand on it. There you go.
I don't know. And then I know, so 0.05.
Okay, what's the 62.72? Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm. 1.5?
It's 2 and 1, right?
You're a little over half.
2 milligrams per 1 ml, so I need 3 mLs.
No, you need 3 milligrams. So,
So my answer is, I don't know how I got my answer.
you just answered the first part. Okay, that's actually not milliliters, that's 3.14 milligrams, because that's the total amount of that's ordered.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go ahead and go over this together, guys, okay? So our patient weighs, where am I? 138 pounds, right? How much is that in kilograms? 62.772. Okay, kilograms. All right. Our ordered amount, remember we have desired over have, but we need to figure out what our desired is, because the only thing we have is that it has to be 0.05 milligrams per kilogram. So what do we do next? We're going to multiply the 0.05 times the 62.72, and we get what? 3.14. So that's our desired for our patient's weight. Okay? Now we can come over to desired over have, but we also have a concentration to work with, right? Because it's 2 milligrams in 1 milliliter, right? So if we have a desired amount of 3.14 milligrams, but we have 2 milligrams times 1 milliliter, right? 2 in 1. What do we get? Say it again. 1.57 milliliters. But we need to round it to the nearest tenth.
1.6.
And that's the answer. Don't sound so shocked.
I didn't use that formula, but I.
That's what
But hey, as long as you got this answer, that's all that matters. Okay. All right. Miss Isabel. She's like,
Well, I forgot to ask,
yes.
when we provided like the option of a school like, scientific calculator? Or,
Yes.
And there is, it's through Exemplify, so there is Desmos on there too.
Correct.
Okay.
There's a calculator in the program. You also get scratch paper, just like you do with every other exam.
Yeah.
And we do issue you the TI-30X or whatever that one is.
The basic one, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just can't use your phone because then obviously you have access to the internet and you could put in, programs and yeah, no. All right. Malayam. A nurse is preparing to administer codeine 20 milliliters of an oral solution to a client. How many teaspoons should the nurse administer? Four whole teaspoons. Yes, we have 20 milliliters. We're going to divide it by 5 because there's 5 milliliters per teaspoon. Gets us 4 teaspoons. Awesome. A nurse is preparing to administer famotidine 40 milligrams PO at bedtime. Available is famotidine 20 milligrams per tablet. How many tablets are we going to give? Nurse Savannah?
Tough one.
So
so you have 20 milligram tablets,
Uh-huh.
and you want 2, because that equals 40 milligrams.
Uh-huh.
So you want
2 tabs, yes. Very nice, very nice. Just like I feel like I'm in 4th grade.
2.
All right. Mr. Winston. We have number 17, a doctor's order to infuse 1,500 milliliters of lactated ringers over 12 hours. Our drip factor is 15 drops per milliliter. How many drops per minute will be administered, rounding to the nearest whole number?
You said that GTT means drops?
Correct.
Oh, I'm just guessing by the way.
You're fine. Pretty good guess. You got it right. He did dimensional analysis. Okay. So, if you're not a dimensional analysis person, what I can tell you he did was he took the total amount that's supposed to be infused, the 1,500, and divided it over time, which was 12 hours, which he got 125 milliliters per hour. Correct? Okay. Then, now that we have this, we can figure out our drips. Yeah, exactly. So we've got our drip factor times volume divided by time. This one, is it going to be in hours or in minutes? It's going to be in minutes, because that's what we're looking for. Okay? So our drop factor was 15, right? Oops. Times the volume for the hour would be 125 divided by time in minutes, which would be no, we've got it for an hour, so it's going to be 60. Okay, and that gets us, well, doesn't it come down to like okay, 31.25. We have to round it to the nearest whole number, so it's about 31 drops per minute. Okay, any questions? All right. Number 18, a doctor orders 300 milliliters of ampicillin, sodium 500 milligrams to infuse over 40 minutes. Drip factor is 20 drops per milliliter. How many drops per minute will be administered, rounding to the nearest whole number? All right, let's walk through this together, okay? Because we only have these 3 left. All right, so what formula can we use? Correct. Drip factor times volume divided by time in minutes. Okay? So, our drip factor is?
300.
Our drip factor?
Milliliter.
Our drip factor is 20. Our volume? 300 divided by how long? 40 minutes. Right. So 20 times 300 is?
6,000.
Divide that by 40.
150.
150 what?
Drops per minute.
All right. A couple more than you guys, I think, deserve a break. So, doctor's order, 0.4 liters of D5W of normal saline to infuse over 3 hours. Drip factor is 10 drops per milliliter. How many drops per milliliter will be administered, rounding to the nearest whole number? You're like, hey, that's great.
Oh, 22 drops per minute.
Well, walk me through it. Would we use that same formula?
I do dimensional.
That's okay. Walk me through it.
Okay, so you start out with like you want to get GTT, your drops per minute. So
Mhm.
you have 10 drops.
10 milliliters per drop, right?
10
Or
drops per
10 drops per
milliliter.
milliliter. Whoops.
Sorry.
You're fine.
And then you're gonna multiply it by 1,000 milliliters over a liter. Multiply by your 0.4 liters over 3 hours.
Like that?
Yes.
Okay.
And then you have 1 hour on top. Yeah, is 60 minutes. So you'll have your drops per minute. And you just multiply and approximate and divide.
Okay.
It's 4,000.
4,000.
I'm like
4,000 over 180.
Over 180.
Thank you.
And it's
It's 22 drops per minute.
Now, for those of us who are sane, times 400.
Get the right answer.
Give me a minute. 180 gets us 4,000 divided by 180. Isn't math fun?
It's the easiest class so far.
Well, because it's a lot of the information you already know. I don't have to teach you the math concepts, I just have to teach you how to plug it in. So, all right, finally, the nurse starts an IV fluid at 19:30 to infuse over 10 hours. At what time will the nurse document completion, or I should say, should the nurse expect completion of the IV fluid?
0530.
05:30. You got it. You got it?
Yes.
You got it?
Yes, sir.
Jerry, you got it? Yes, okay. I gotta get my military peeps in trouble because I'm like, some of them didn't do so much on the military. All right. Go ahead and take a 10-minute break. Actually, a little bit longer. It's like 13.